There we go. It's a little better. Hey, lovies. This is Michelle here from Life Mantra Tarot. I hope that you guys are doing great. Haven't checked in since last week, so I figured I'd tap in with you guys now that it is Hump Day, Wednesday night. um, yeah, like I said, I hope you guys have been doing well this week. Had a nice past weekend, all that good stuff since I didn't check in since then. And yeah, so those of you who are new to the channel and never checked anything out, welcome. I hope you like what you see here and decide to stick around. It's kind of a little bit of a mixed bag. You'll see a lot of different stuff on here. Hey, Lovey, what's up? My bestie slash Soli over here, the Phoenix Priestess, is here. Check her out. She's an amazing reader. Um, she's also open for private readings. So if you're looking for a good reading, that's somebody who I would highly recommend. Um, but yeah, that's my heart right there. Um, I love you too, love. So yeah, for those of you who are new, welcome, and definitely hit that subscribe button and all that good stuff because yeah, just slowly building this channel up. We're trying to, and trying different things here to see what can help sustain the attention of the audience and things like that. So I tried different things on here. I will be getting back into doing like the personals and stuff at some point or another. Uh, just have to have the mental and emotional and spiritual capacity to do it. Sometimes I'm just not there. I'm like, yeah, I don't know if I can. But yeah, for those of you who've already been rocking with your girl for a while, welcome back. Like my homie over here. So with all that said, I actually was inspired to do this reading because the deck was just sitting there like on my nightstand, like right there in front of me, and I haven't used these in a while. And I just finished a session with my client, my coaching client, and we were kind of just talking about like life purpose, like when we're confused and we're trying to figure out what the hell is happening, right? When we have those moments, we all go through it at some point or another. And when we're going through those different ebbs and flows of life, we're questioning, am I on the right path? Am I doing what I'm being called to do, right? Especially those of us who are trying to be more um, engaged with our higher self, right? Serving a higher power, having a higher purpose here in this world. What are we being guided to do at this time? So I felt inspired to and called to do that. And literally, the name of this deck is called Uncover Your Calling. So go figure, right? So that's what inspired me to look into this energy for the collective. And like I said, this is a collective reading, so take the messages as they resonate and leave the rest behind. I will do my best at being able to decipher the different narratives and storylines that I pick up on throughout the reading, by using like my intuition and things like that, and maybe other separate intuitive messages that might also come through. With all that said, enough of my spiel. So we're going to tap in. Like I said, we're going to start with this deck here. I've already cleansed the space and myself. So, Spirit, please show the collective at this time what they need to see for their highest good when it comes to this point in their journey, what they need to know when it comes to their soul's calling, what are they being pushed and drawn to do at this time. Here's the most accurate messages, please. Thank you. Shuffle a few times, and then we'll see what comes out. I'll just get a few from here. I'm also going to look into like possible like spiritual gifts as well. We'll look into a little bit of like career advice as well. A few little different areas just to kind of get that insight. Alright, clearest and most accurate. Alright, starting things. Want to be starting something? It says enterprising. So some of you might be thinking about starting a business. This is just on the bottom of the deck. So if any of you guys have been kind of, feeling drawn to, start a business or already have one, some of you might be like on a hiatus and you're kind of not sure if you want to do that anymore, or you're trying to like maybe revamp your business. I see some folks coming in. Hi, Timothy. Hi, Cookie Victoria. How are you? And everybody else who's here as well. Thank you, thank you. So some of you guys might be feeling drawn to start a business. Maybe the typical 9 to 5 isn't really your thing right now. Let's look deeper into it. Like I said, that's just on the bottom of the deck, and there are going to be different messages for different people. So, if that's not what you feel drawn to do, nothing wrong with that. But some people might be thinking about, taking their talents and their gifts elsewhere and starting something of their own rather than having to work under somebody else. Or doing like even a side hustle kind of thing. All right. We have shaping environments. Shaping environments. Hey, Lottie, what's up, girl? What is up? Are you Italian? Ironically enough, I'm like 3% Italian based on my genealogy report. But no, seriously, I'm just African American. Cape Verdean American, if you really want to be technical. My family is from Cape Verde, but I found out that I have other stuff in there too. Hey, Hillary. So I guess I'm seeing some of my soul tribe popping in. I was talking about my soulie a second ago, and now my other homegirl is here. Tears and Beat Tarot Show. Check her out as well. Amazing reader. Yes, I have not been sleeping. My sleep has been absolutely terrible. I've been trying to work on that. But it's been really hard waking up in the middle of the night for hours at a time. Yeah, it's been rough. But I'm getting a little bit more expansion on this card that I pulled, the first card. Shaping environments. I feel like you guys are meant to help shape and mold something in some kind of way. For somebody, this seems pretty specific. I don't know if any of you guys are like into like something when it comes to like teaching, whether it's like children or coaching, something along those lines. I'm also getting people who are kind of like behind the scenes, so like people who do like HR work, office administration, kind of stuff like that. Let me know if that makes any sense. And it kind of does line up with what we saw with the starting something, or starting things, I think is what they said. I jokingly said starting something, which was, we were getting an energy of starting a business maybe for some of your business venture. So maybe taking, your skill set and shaping and molding it into, what it is that you really want. Let me know if it resonates. All right. Breaking molds, artistic. So some of you might be able to use some of your artistic capabilities when it comes to looking deeper into your what you feel called to do at this time. You're breaking molds, you're doing something different, right? Thinking outside of the box is what I'm getting. Hence why we're also getting that shaping environment. If you're like I said molding and shaping, and now we have breaking molds. I don't know if any of you guys are like actual like artists, like, physically working with, different manipulatives to make art. Let me know if that resonates with anybody. Like working with clay, doing like ceramics and things like that, or painting. I'm getting stuff like that. That's pretty cool. I don't have an artistic bone in my body. I make art projects for 7-year-olds. So that might look a little bit cool. And I get my ideas from Pinterest. So there's that. But that's as artistic as I get. But yeah, some of you guys might be into the arts in some kind of form. I'm also getting art therapy. Let me know if that makes any sense for anybody. I don't know if any of you guys have like a background in like counseling and therapy and stuff like that, psychology, and or teaching, because I was picking up on that too. If any of you guys have ever explored the idea of art therapy, that's pretty cool. Or music therapy, pretty cool. Very different. You don't hear too many people in that field, but that's the whole thing, right? You're breaking molds and doing something that's different, something unique, investigating something investigative. So I'm getting that, you might be really getting drawn to kind of look into a field of study or work that you've been kind of feeling guided to look into, understanding the credentials necessary to do it, or the job market in and of itself, like looking to see if there's any of those types of jobs being kind of demanded in your area, or if there's a gap there, you might be able to be that person to help bridge that gap. I'm kind of getting, yeah, look, we have on the bottom of the deck, exploring the way, and it's enterprising again. That's about business. So this is about exploration for some of you. Wow. Making connections, meeting new people, right? Remember I said bridging the gap, connecting with people. I'm getting I heard freelance, and I also heard here you go. I hate when that happens. I heard it, but they were overlapping. I heard freelance really loudly. It'll come to me again, I hope. Damn, I hate when that happens. I heard freelance. That's one of the things. Like doing something that's different, that stands out, and maybe somewhat independently. I'm hearing outreach. Yep, I heard that pretty loud too. Let's get maybe 2 more from here. If you guys are resonating with this, let me know in the comments. Let me know also by reacting and or hitting that like button if you haven't done so already. I greatly appreciate you. And if you're new, I would greatly also appreciate you guys hitting that subscribe button, all that good stuff. It lets me know that I'm connecting with the energy and that I'm resonating with you guys. Empowering others, enterprising. Wow. So remember I was saying like something about coaching? What do coaches do? Right? Teachers. People along those lines, when it comes to those type of fields, you are meant to help people feel empowered, strengthen them. I heard solid foundation. Help give them a solid foundation to build upon based on what they might already have, right? Wow, that's pretty cool. I like that for you guys. Selling intangibles. Yeah, see, keyword selling intangibles. So this is like the 3rd card now we saw about enterprising. It's not in the meta spread, but we've seen many cards at this point that are talking about enterprising. Intangible, something that's intangible. You can't put a price tag on helping other people in the dynamics that we're seeing right now, right? It's not measurable in the sense of monetary value and things like that, right? It's more intrinsic, and I think that's what you guys are called to do at this time. You might be really, we have creating things, artistic. So you've seen creating things before. So I think you're meant to create something that is going to help really bring people together, help them find themselves. Get something like that. Yeah, look, realistic, and it says fixing things. What's that lady's name? I always say her name wrong. It's like Ayanla or something like that. She used to do a lot of stuff like Oprah and like Dr. Phil, and she had a show called Fix My Life, and she was a life coach. I'm getting like, not like in a a gimmicky way, but like actually helping people like discover, like with self-discovery and things like that, and doing a lot of that inner work and stuff like that, shadow work, light work. Some of you guys might be very spiritual. I mean, you are watching tarot, so there's a good chance. Let's get 1 more from here. Let me know if that makes any sense. I like where this is going so far, though. The cards that I felt drawn to in terms of the decks that I went and picked out, they line up with where this is going to. Oh, I like this. Social, bringing joy. Remember I said something about kind of going out into the community in some kind of way, with like maybe outreach or something like that. So we got empowering others, and it's right next to bringing joy. Like, you're definitely meant to like go out there and like be that person who helps bridge gaps when it comes to something. I'm also getting people who, because I'm picking up on outreach work. So maybe working with some type of like community agencies that go out there trying to help people in some kind of way, different ways, whether it's overall wellness. I'm getting wellness. That's one of the things I'm picking up on. Wellness, and things like that. Some of you, if you really like working with kids, maybe like sports, day programs, things like that. I'm also getting for somebody working with special needs. Wow. Working with the community to find resources for people with special needs, I'm getting, which is pretty cool. I work with people with special needs too. I like that. On the bottom of the deck, we have performing events. So, like I said, we have a very dynamic group of people who are going to resonate with this reading. It's a little bit scattered in terms of the energies, but the one thing that comes up the most is the fact that you're definitely helping bring joy to people's life in some kind of way. Whether it's by empowering them and helping them in some kind of way, or, you know, in the more artistic sector where you're bringing your talents to other people and helping them, you know, through different areas of their life, or, you know, coming to terms with how gifted they might be. You know, it's really nice to have growing things here. I heard growing pains for some reason. But yeah, some of you guys might like that show, or like the theme song or something. Or like a lot of like the 80s like TV shows, the sitcoms. But anywho, yeah, I really like where this is going. This is really nice. See, look. You're definitely meant to be out there socially, helping overcome obstacles. You're meant to help other people. I love that energy. So let's keep on going. I mean, we're in a nice little, you know, momentum here, seeing where things are going. I kind of like this. I'm so annoyed because even with the air conditioner on, my ice melted. This is a Arnold Palmer here. There's no alcohol in this, believe it or not. Or is there? I'm lying. There's a little vodka, just a little bit. But anywho, let's see. All right, so you can't make this shit up. Oh my god. So when I split the deck, this deck is about spiritual gifts and life purpose. All right, so when I split the deck, we have performer. Come on now, spirit ain't playing with y'all. Entertainment is your thing. You enjoy expressing your creativity and the attention you get from others. So you like being out there, and that brings you joy, and thus that brings other people joy too. That's awesome. And we also have protector, guardian to others by looking out and keeping them safe out of harm's way. So it definitely lines up with the stuff that we're kind of seeing, right? Helping other people, empowering them, helping them, you know, mold and shape their life for the better. Love that energy. Again, if this is resonating with you guys, let me know in the comment section or send some reactions. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already, so on and so forth. Just so I know that I'm connecting with you guys. So I'm going to get maybe 3 or 4 cards from here, and then we're going to look into some tarot about some, maybe some guidance of how you guys can kind of work on that. I might pick some career cards as well, because it does seem like it's just lining up with like career opportunities and goals. Catalyst. You are a human catalyst. You have helped others to set off into their own spiritual transformation. You can't make this shit up even if you wanted to. This is after I shuffled. This is what you're being guided to do. Wow. That's awesome. I love to see this energy. Very meaningful, very powerful. There's a reason why I got drawn to do this. Wasn't sure where this was gonna go or or what, but yeah. Counselor, did I not say something about that too? You hold powerful space for others' well-being. You offer heartfelt guidance and wisdom. I'm just saying, Spirit is saying it. All the things that I said are being, you know, the stuff is being confirmed in a whole different deck. So, just saying. Let's get maybe 2 more from here. Maybe 3. This was 3. I'm feeling guided towards 3 cards from here. 3 more. What else? Cosmic link. You are linked to the universe and cosmos. Look to the skies and stars for messages of encouragement. So pay attention to where you're guided, right? you know, those inklings that you might get that, you know, you're on this path right now, hence why you ended up watching this reading. You got drawn to this for a reason, right? That was free will. You didn't have to click on this, but you did. And I'm hoping you're getting something out of it. And there are things that are going to kind of just happen in your life that are going to help guide you at this time, where you're going to be like, wow, this is all making a lot more sense. It's just way too many things that will just be merely a coincidence as to what I'm supposed to be doing at this time when it comes to my life. I just decided to look on the bottom of the deck what we got here. Beacon. You bring relief and comfort for those in need by radiating positive hope and guiding light of faith. That's what you guys do for people. That's what you do. Hence this empowering energy, right? That's what you're guided to do at this time. Wow. This is so powerful. I love this. Wow. Let's get 2 more from here. I say 2 more and they gave me 2 more, okay? Okay, Spirit. I see where y'all going with this. But I'm going to take these as 1 card, though. Because you guys want to be funny, I can be funny, too. We have Scribe. It says, record keeper of time, divinely guided to write down important events to save for the future. So some of you guys, I know for a fact, one of my girls, Lati from Tears and Wheat Tarot Show, she does automatic writing. That's one of her gifts. I have yet to try that, and I would like to try it, but I don't know if I'm going to know how to do it. Or if I'm like giftedly inclined enough, which is not really a word, but if I'm quite there yet, I'm not sure. But I would like to try one day. But, you know, writing might be something that you guys are, just in general, could be something you guys are really good at. You might be like a wordsmith, really good with your words. That could be a part of your artistic abilities. Really, really good at just, like, you know, wordplay and poetry. Some of you guys might write music, like lyrics and stuff, which is cool. But other things that could just be like you guys have really important information stored up here or within yourself. I'm getting kind of Akashic Record kind of stuff. Ironically, I did pull out my Akashic Record Truth Oracle deck for this reading. I felt drawn to them, and that kind of makes sense. And it came out with Earth Angel. Sent from the divine on a mission to make the world lighter, happier, and more peaceful place to live. Come on. If y'all don't feel guided right now to do these amazing things that you're being called to do, oh, I hope you're starting to feel it now, because you guys have some amazing gifts that you're meant to share with this world, for real. Let's get 1 more from here. As I asked for 2, they gave me 2. I'm like, okay, well, I want 1 more. I'm greedy. 1 more from here. What we got? What the fuck, guys? Okay, see, I even get weirded out when stuff like this happens. I really do. Artist. You are a special individual that sees things in unique ways, and you use your visionary talents to create. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm telling you, you guys are meant to be creators. You're meant to help guide other people and bring a lot of joy into this world. Wow. And some of you guys will be able to combine all of this together. That's why I kept on picking up on possibly like art therapy or something. I wanted to get into that, but I would have to go back to school and get a master's. I'm not doing all that shit, man. No, thank you. Plus, I'm not that artistic anyway. But art therapy is really cool. Music therapy is also very cool. Bottom of the deck, we have Wildling. You connect with nature. That's pretty cool. And natural environment, staying true to your authentic self. I like that. I like that. I like that. It's pretty cool. And then we have Rebel. I got the power. That could be funny. We just did have Juneteenth. It looks like a Black Power fist to me. But anyway, going against the grain, rise in opposition, nonconformist, free thinker, God, I can't get the word out. And I know how to say this. Individualist, defying actions. So you guys are meant to go against the grain. And that might ruffle some feathers sometimes, but that's fine. You know, doing things outside of the box. I'm getting for somebody, some of you guys might come from a more like a traditional background, and maybe like the path that you're trying to, as I say, route and path at the same time. That's why it came out weird like that. Maybe the path that you're taking or are currently on, or trying to understand, trying to figure it out, right? It's different than what they want for you. Let me know if that resonates with you in the comment section. Like for instance, if you're, you know, on your spiritual path and you're getting more into spirituality, but you come from a religious background, right? Just using this as an example. This could be somebody's story. And, you know, you're rebelling. You're like, fuck that. I'm going to do things the way I want to. This is my life and I'm going to live it the way I want to. I just heard If 6 Was 9 by Jimi Hendrix. And there's a part at the end of the song. He said, this is my life and I'm going to live my life the way I want to. Like in the little spoken word section of the song. Love that song. If the sun refused to shine, I don't mind. I don't mind. If the mountains fell in the sea, it ain't me. Let it be. Cause I got my own world to live through, and I ain't gonna copy you. I don't know if any of you guys are Hendrix fans. There might be at least one in here, or somebody who ends up watching it. That's my boy. Grew up on him. I'm almost like, I would have probably been a rejected child if I didn't like Hendrix, because my dad's obsessed with him. Like, that ain't my daughter. She don't like Hendrix, that's not my child. But anywho, and my son ended up growing up to be a Hendrix fan too, and that boy can play his ass off when it comes to that guitar. I'm just saying. I did a good job. Mediator in the middle of the deck. Assists and guides others, there you go, to reach a resolution. Peacemaker, balance, and harmony. Look at that. Wow. I just heard, he's got the whole world in his hands. He's got the whole world in his hands. It's like, as I'm looking at this picture, I know it's a picture of a heart, but it's like you're meant to like kind of like be that safe space for somebody. Like when they're in their world and their sector and their feelings and stuff like that, they can come to you for assistance and guidance and feel safe. A safe haven. Not feel judged. Wow. I got goosebumps when I said that. Somebody might resonate with that. Okay, so before I start crying and stuff on here or something like that, because I know myself and I don't want to go there, I'm going to pull from some tarot. Like I said, I hope you guys are resonating with this. Hillary, what did you say? I just realized you said something. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Hey, Mirjana, how are you? Loving when I always love when I see people coming back. It lets me know that I'm doing something right. And definitely makes me happy. And when I see new people who stick around throughout a reading, that also makes me happy. So yeah, thank you guys for being here. Thank you for the likes so far and reactions and the comments. It's letting me know that I'm connecting with y'all, and that's my goal. I feel like that's what I'm called to do. So at least I know I'm doing something right. All right, so I'm thinking let's do a cross of truth for you guys. Keep it kind of short and sweet with the tarot portion, and then I'll pull some career cards as well to kind of get a little bit more guidance on that, and then some like maybe last pieces of advice, and then I think that'll be the end of the reading. I'm saying it as if that's going to be like in a few minutes. Like, no, we're going to be here probably for like another half hour. But hi, Serene. How are you? Welcome. All right. So we have on the bottom of the deck, after I shuffled, we have 9 of Wands, which is about resilience. It's about a test of your strength. You know, kind of, you know, ongoing battles. Feeling like you're kind of like, you know, maybe a little bit stuck, blocked, or just feeling really tired after a lot of fighting and just, you know, figuring it all out. So it would explain a lot, because like I've been feeling very drained past like week. I'm on break from my other job, by the way. Hey Tamasha, how are you? I'm on break from my main job, which I work at a school, but I go back next week for the summer program. But I've been so fucking tired. And I'm like, how am I this damn exhausted and I'm on break? And I mean, I've done a few things here and there, but like I've been pretty much a lazy bum this whole time. And I'm just like, how the fuck am I so tired? But the thing is, it's like when you're at that ending point, sometimes when you're approaching like the end of a cycle of your life and you're approaching something new, embarking on new adventures and stuff like that, it could be very, very tiring. So some of you might be feeling like that too, just drained out of your energy. You might be waking up a lot in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep. Let me know if that resonates. Or not sleeping much at all, so on and so forth. And thank you so much. Somebody just made fun of my raccoon eyes a little while ago. I'm like, I know I haven't been sleeping, okay? They were like, have you been sleeping? I'm like, no. So your eyes look purple. But yeah, anywho. The reason why you might be feeling like this is because you're pouring your energy into too many different places at one time. And that will definitely yank on your energy, right? Um, or you're feeling, boggled down by something, and you're trying to figure out, well, okay, what path am I meant to take at this time? Trying to figure it all out, especially when it comes to your overall sense of, stability. And it could become complicated because sometimes what is supposed to help us be stable doesn't always line up with what feels right, if that makes any sense. Think of teachers. Teachers don't make fucking money. In Connecticut, the average teacher is only making like maybe 50,000 a year, maybe 55. That ain't shit. Now they're gonna be spending the rest of their life paying off all those damn student loans that they took out, and they can't even pay it back because they don't make enough fucking money to sustain themselves. Trust me, teachers do not do it for the money. They do it because they love those kids. Just saying. So a lot of the helping fields tend to not, make that much money. You know, all the effort that you put into the actual work itself, and if you had to go to school, the schooling or the training too, it's like sometimes it's not always what it's cracked up to be. You're doing it for a different purpose, which can, cause that sense of a disparity there, because it's like, okay, or imbalance, because you're like, okay, well, I like or love what I do, or I feel guided to do this, but practically speaking, it doesn't balance out. Some of you might be feeling like that. Let me know if that resonates in the comment section. But let's look deeper into what's happening here with you guys. Spirit, let's get the clearest and most accurate messages for the collective. What do they need to know at this time for their highest good when it comes to this energy here? Thank you. All right. See, a lot of you guys, I feel like, are meant to be in some type of leadership role. You got the King of Wands. Some of you might have fire in your chart. I'm also getting that, like as I said, you might be meant to step into some form of leadership. But I'm also getting like this might be a time to really be decisive about what it is that you're meant to do at this time. Taking life by the horns and saying, you know what? I've been misguided, or I've kind of gone down the wrong paths when it comes to what I want to do, when it comes to my path. I have to find something that's going to allow me to feel that sense of security and stability. And when I say security and stability, I don't even mean necessarily financially. I mean something that helps you feel grounded and secure, in the sense of you feel like you're doing the right thing that aligns with your purpose at this time. Yeah, we got Seven of Pentacles. There are a lot of Pentacles though. There's Wands and Pentacles energy. I'm picking up on a lot of that. So some of you might have earth in your chart or fire in your chart. But yeah, wow, a lot of fire energy. We got the Ace of Wands here in the middle of the deck. So going back to what we were talking about earlier about possibly starting a new job, or just having like this creative spark right now when it comes to, I kept hearing the word creative spark even this morning. I was like, why do I keep hearing that? I'm like, is that y'all's way of telling me that I need to maybe write down some ideas when it comes to creativity and stuff for my business? And I'm like, well, I'd rather just be a couch potato right now and just scroll on Facebook. I really just wasn't feeling it. But I feel connected to that part of the reading. They're like, bitch, do some goddamn work. But yes. I do feel like this is definitely a time to, focus on that. I'm also getting, for some of you, might benefit from reaching out to people who are like-minded individuals within the same kind of community that you're in, or the same type of career field, things like that, or a career field that you're interested in. Perhaps like being like a intern, or like shadow them a little bit, like what they do, how they do it on a regular basis. I'm getting something like that's interesting. I'm not sure where that's coming from. That might not resonate with everybody, but let me know if it does. Tell me more about this King of Wands here. Interesting. Goes back to what we were talking about. Some of you guys are meant to be some type of teacher or something, the Hierophant. I'm also getting, this might be just also a time, as I was saying, like, you know, earlier or a second ago, about like kind of taking life by the horns, doing things a little bit differently, being maybe unorthodox with, you know, your approach. You might be being called to kind of look over your, or reevaluate your belief system and things like that. Looking back on your upbringing and stuff like that, and trying to figure out, you know, do those things that you've learned in the past align with where you are currently, where you're going. Excuse me. I know it was a nasty ass burp, and I apologize, but that's throat chakra energy, because I was feeling blocked there when I was saying that. Some of you guys might be feeling guided to say something to like a father figure. Let me know if this makes sense or resonates. Because of the fact that you might be trying to do something that does not line up with what you were brought up doing, or being told that you should do, so on and so forth. Let me know if that makes any sense. But so much Wands energy, aka fire energy. But we do have this Eight of Wands. They're like, you know, this is, you know, I heard Godspeed. Like, you're being called to move into this new direction, take action, and do something different. You're being called to do this. So I'm also getting like, you know, curse breakers, people who are meant to, you know, change things within their bloodline, and the family dynamics and things like that. And this could cause a lot of fear and anxiety. We have Nine of Swords here on the top of the deck here. So there's these fears and anxieties. Some of you guys might not want to be like reprimanded, or I heard the word exiled, exiled from like your family or something, when it comes to, you know, this path that you're being called to take. But some of you might have spiritual gifts or something like that, or just something that, like I said, something unorthodox that's different, that you're being called to do, and it makes it very difficult because there's that internal struggle. Okay, do I do this or do I do that? Like, which way do I go? And that can explain some of the confusion that some of you guys might be experiencing, if you're feeling that that resonates. Serene says that, you know, that makes sense for her when it comes to her career choices right now. I get it. Trust me. I went the wrong path for a very long time. Very long time. And not for nothing. Honestly, like, even when I went to college after my grandmother passed away, ironically enough, the anniversary of her death was yesterday. She passed away 12 years ago. And I went back to school because of her passing. My aunt basically forced me to go back. She was like, oh, the day after her funeral, she's like, oh, what are you doing tomorrow? I'm like, going to work at 12 o'clock. She's like, okay, so what are you doing at 8 o'clock? And I'm like, nothing. She's like, so you're going to put some clothes on, and we're going to go down to Housatonic, which is the school my grandmother worked at. And she was a counselor there. And I was like, for what? She's like, I thought she was going to say, like, to help, like, clean out the office or something. No, this bitch decides this. Love you, auntie. She's like, oh no, to register for fall semester. I'm like, no, I'm not ready to go back to school. She's like, yeah, you're going back to school. That's what Nana wanted. I'm like, auntie, I'm not ready for that. I went back to school. When I went back, my idea was that I was going to go back for social work. The school didn't offer social work, but I was able to transfer my credits to go into the social work program at one of the state schools. Lo and behold, my degree ended up being in behavioral and social science, and I have a certificate in comorbidity stuff. I am drinking a Arnold Palmer. But anywho, I say that to say that I felt that I was supposed to be the one to hold on to the torch of what she did. If I were to show you guys her resume and all that, y'all would be like, oh my gosh, she did all of that in her lifetime? Yeah. And I felt like I was supposed to be the one to keep that going. But nobody, you know, you can't compete where you don't compare. That might be my grandmother, but I am not her, and I'm not meant to do exactly what she did. So I went a different route, and now I'm in special education, and I love what I do. And if I would have kept on trying to pursue all these degrees and stuff, I don't know if I would have ever actually been able to take a time to just stop and enjoy what I was doing in terms of my career versus constantly chasing after another degree and more credentials. Because that's what she kind of did. I think as a black woman from her time, she felt like that's what she had to do to prove a point in a man's world. I'm seeing I'm losing some viewers. It makes sense. You know, sometimes when it gets too deep, people are like, okay, this is boring. I don't think I want to hear that anymore. But, you know, there is a message here. And, yeah, the message is following where you feel guided to go. Sometimes, you know, you're going to think that you're supposed to do stuff because your family did it or they told you that's what you're supposed to do, so on and so forth. And that's not always the case. You know, sometimes you have to really do what your soul is calling you to do. And I think that's why I felt guided to do this reading tonight. Tell us more. Yeah. We have the Justice here. So already we have 2 major arcana out on the spread. The official spread. And we saw other ones too throughout. So with that being there as what's being released, essentially, you're learning lessons, right? Life lessons that are going to help you find that sense of peace and balance in your life at this time. Balancing out those scales. Learning the lessons that are needed to be learned to move forward. Look, another major arcana, the Empress. This is about your growth and expansion. For some of you, let me know if this resonates, but for some of you, one of the things that you are learning is there's something, ooh, the back of my head just did like a weird thing. It felt like I went like this. Like, so, okay. There might be this might be a separate message for somebody. So bear with me, guys. You can stick around if you want, or you can leave. It's fine. But somebody who's watching or is going to watch, there might be a maternal figure, whether it's a mother or like a grandmother, an aunt, something like that. But someone just went in the back, something just went in the back of my head and went like this. I don't know if like when you were little, like they used to like scratch the back of your head, like right by the nape of your neck. And that might have been something they did to like put you to sleep. Oh God, I hope I don't start crying. But I felt that. They want you to know that they don't want you repeating lessons or patterns that they happened to feel like were bestowed upon them. They want you to be that person to break those molds, because we did see breaking molds there. Wow, that was intense. That's for somebody. But I'm also just getting the sense of, for others, if that doesn't resonate with you, because I was very specific. Somebody came in here and told me to say that. Like, they literally came through and was like, oh, I'm going to touch you right now, and I want you to tell the audience right now. So let me know if that resonates with any of y'all. I'm getting, like, when it goes back to that message I just got, this is somebody who, there was so much that they wanted to do in their lifetime, but they just couldn't because of the time that they lived in, especially as a woman. Wow, that's deep. But yeah, like I said, for others, it's just, you know, there's energy of breaking molds, learning the lessons, right? Balancing out those scales so that you can find that sense of growth and expansion in yourself. And that's going to allow for a lot of new things to come through with this Page of Pentacles here. Page of Pentacles is about good news regarding earthly matters, possibly money, excuse me, things like that. But there are those ties that still need to be severed. Hence, that's why I was asking, what are the things that are being like let go or released? We got the devil here. So there are those things that still keep maybe you bound in some kind of way. That could be blocking like your finances, or blocking you when it comes to, you know, going on this creative venture that you're trying to explore. And it does come down also to decisions, right? But these decisions can be confusing. Yeah. A lot of you definitely are meant to like have a business. They want you to feel more confident, and that's the truth. So this is about finding that sense of confidence also within yourself to go after what it is you want, right? We did talk about breaking molds. You're doing something very, very different and unique, and it can be scary, but you're being called to do it. So go for it. Tell us more. If this is resonating with you, let me know in the comment section, or hit that like button if you haven't done so already. If you're new, thank you for being here, and I hope that you like what you see. I hope that you're getting something out of this. We also appreciate for you guys to subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell so you know when I am on here. I'm going to start being on here more frequently. I'm going to be more active soon. My right ear started buzzing like crazy just now, as soon as this card got drawn. Look, Ace of Swords. Ears buzzing like crazy. There's definitely some sense of truth, right? A breakthrough energy. You're seeing things a lot more clearly, and that's what they want for you. They want you to see things clearly. We have a bunch of major arcanas that showed up. Now we've got aces coming out. Like, this is really potent, strong energy for y'all. No wonder I was drawn to do this. I just all of a sudden felt flush. Very sudden. That feeling will go away in like 2 seconds. It happens. But there's something very resonant about that card. I put emphasis on that word resonant. I'm hearing something about music. Got a couple of messages. I don't know if any of you guys had like a motherly figure in your life at all who used to love the sound of music. They're coming through. Wow, it's giving me like ancestor reading type energy. I didn't expect this. And then I also heard truth be told when that Ace of Swords card came out. You guys gotta stop. Like, this is what you're being called to do. Like, they're saying basically, don't dim your light. Like, you're meant to be out there. You're meant to really showcase these gifts and talents that you have to help other people, bring a lot of joy to people's lives. You're definitely meant to do that. Look, you got the Page of Pentacles here again. That's what you're guided to do. Yep. You have Temperance. Some of you might have Sagittarius in your chart. But yeah, peace, balance, harmony. And we did see a card that talked about that's one of the things that you're meant to help bring into people's lives. But you have to allow, I'm getting like ego death now with this death card in the middle of the deck. It's like you guys are, ironically enough, there's 5 people here and 8 likes, and the number 13 right here. That adds up. Well, it just changed, of course. It always does that. But that would have added up to 13. So I don't know if any of you guys are seeing the number 13 a lot, but or variations of it, like backwards and forwards, but like 1313, 3113, 1331, like stuff like that. Let me know if that resonates. You might also be seeing the number 4 a lot. Let me know if that resonates. 444, 414. You might be seeing like variations of some type of numbers. But anywho, I'm getting like ego death here, like having to be able to say to yourself, okay, self, this is a transformative time right now, and I need to be able to understand where I'm going on this part of my journey. It's scary, I don't get it fully, but taking that leap of faith, I wouldn't be shocked if the Fool card were to show up at some point in this reading. But it's giving me like the Fool vibe, like starting from scratch, and just everything that you thought you knew, thought you wanted, now you're realizing, okay, there's some changes that need to be made here. I'm getting something like that. All right, tell us more. Oh, this is, I saw 5005 when I said that. You might be seeing the number 5 a lot. You might be seeing the number 10 a lot. You know if that resonates. Ironically enough, the number 5 is on this card, the Hierophant, which I was just talking about. Really, like reevaluating things, right? You know, your value systems, your belief systems. What does it all mean? Does this still resonate with me at this time, right? So let me know if you've been seeing a lot of any of those numbers or variations of them. Yeah, they really want you to protect your peace at this time. You got 7 of Wands here. This is about standing your ground, about what it is that, what you want. You know, what matters to you at this time. Not worrying about everybody else and their opinions and shit like that. Because opinions are like assholes. Everybody's got one, right? It's like, who are you living for? Everybody else or yourself? Ask yourself that question. And give yourself an honest answer. Because I used to live for myself I used to live my life for everybody else all the time. And I still have problems with that. Having that sense of separation and autonomy. We got the High Priestess here. Remember I was saying for some of you it could be about your own gifts and things like that you have, that they're telling you, oh, that's the devil's work and shit like that. Let me know if that makes any sense for any of you. But for others, it could just be, you know, you have this internal and intrinsic understanding of what it is that you're being guided to do. A very high sense of intuition, and you know that you feel guided to do something. It's just about going in that route and protecting it. Seizing these new opportunities as they present themselves, because it's happening. You're going to continue to be very uncomfortable until you do what you have to do for yourself with this Knight of Swords here. You know, this is about forward movement. Yeah. And it's definitely for some of you, it does have to do with families to some type of extent. 10 of Cups goes back to the family dynamic. It's like, you know, mommy and daddy said I'm not supposed to do that. Or my grandparents were like, oh no, I'm going to disown you if you do this. It's like, no, fuck that. You got to do what makes you happy. You know, it's not about everybody else. It's about yourself now. You know? Tell us more. There's a card that almost came out, but I'm not sure what it was. Thank you. Okay, we got the King of Cups. So the King of Cups is somebody who's very emotionally intelligent. They know how to balance their logic and their emotions. Some of you might be that person who knows how to do that. You might have water in your chart somewhere. Others of you could be like, there's somebody in your life who you care about very, very much when it comes to emotions. But there's something that, confirmation, but there's something that you need to say to this person. An emotional conversation, if you will. Yeah, different pages. Queen of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, it's a partnership of some sort. There's a separation here. When I say separation, I don't mean literal separation. And when I say partnership, I also don't necessarily mean romantically. It could just be somebody in your life in general who you care about a lot. There's a lot of emotion here. But you guys are on different pages when it comes to this conversation that needs to be had. When it comes to where you're going, where you're headed, when it comes to this path that you're called to take. But this path is going to lead to a sense of feeling lucrative. Ace of Pentacles in the middle of the deck. And then the Queen of Pentacles is on the bottom. That's why I was saying, like, there's that difference, right? Like, one person is on one path and the other one's on the other. And there's that partnership there. Just so you guys can see the cards. It's going to look different for everybody. For some of you, it could be a father figure. For some of you, it's just somebody in your life in general who you have a strong emotional attachment to. and you're trying to figure out how to almost pacify them, and you can't do that forever. You just can't. So now it's about, okay, how do I live my life the way that I know I'm meant to at this time and not ruffle feathers? Well, sometimes you're gonna have to ruffle feathers, and they're gonna have to get over it. It's just the truth, you know. I got for somebody that seems very specific. I don't know if somebody wants to move out of their parents' house. Very specific. Um, Maybe you feel like, you stayed with them because they might have a case of like empty nest syndrome. This is very specific. Let me know if it resonates with any of you. But and now you're like, I'm an adult, mom or dad or parents. Like I need to go. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to live my own life and I want to do things my own way. And they're giving you a hard time, or you're scared to have this conversation with them. I'm getting somebody might be slightly younger watching, who ends up watching at some point, a college student maybe. You wanted to, or your parents, family, whatever, wanted you to stay close to home for college. This came up in a reading a while back too. Anyway, that same person might be watching. And they were like, yes, that's my story in the comment section. But I'm not sure. Anywho, you want to go to college further away and your parents don't want you to. Seems very specific. That's not going to be for everybody. But yeah, like I said, I am definitely getting this energy of just honesty and transparency when it comes to what you're being called to do at this time, and going in that direction and not worrying about the opinions and feelings of other people, even people who you really care about. Sometimes you have to do what you got to do. Let's get one more card from here. Last message from the tarot. I'm gonna just pick some career cards, and then maybe from like one or two more decks after that, and that'll be it. You guys want to stick around a little bit longer. Wow, flew out. See, look, flew out. The Chariot. Moving on, baby. Remember, I just literally said some of y'all might be physically moving or thinking about it. Like, that could be confirmation for somebody. But also just the fact that, there's this sense of completion when it comes to a past chapter. I literally said that in the earlier part of the reading. I was picking up on this heaviness, like this burden being like lifted, and letting that shit go and saying, you know what, I'm upward and onward. I'm moving on to something new. That there was a reason why I felt drawn, because I completed the spread already. I just felt guided to pull one more card, and lo and behold, they're like, look, there's going to be a sense of successful completion and moving forward from this stuff that you've been feeling, and it's going to allow you to have that great sense of freedom when it comes to where you're headed, when it comes to your spiritual journey. Yeah, where you're headed. That Knight of Wands is all about movement. It's all about the passion that comes with moving in a new direction and embarking on a new journey. Passionate new beginnings, baby. Ace of Wands is here. That creative spark, right? Wow, this is awesome. And, this is a time to invest in yourself for a change with the Seven of Pentacles. Like, you put time and energy into everything and everyone else for so long. You're being called and guided at this time to put that same amount of energy into yourself. That time and energy. Let's see. I feel guided to pull from these. I haven't used these in a while. The career deck. Ha! Look at that. Remember I was saying that some of you guys might be writers? Confirmation. It says, this is from me splitting the deck, by the way. Your words have powerful influence. Powerful influence to others. Find out how you can contribute. A career in social media management, book writing, content creating, or blogging could be for you. Use words and visualize it as you write them to manifest more money into your life. Interesting. And we also have health. Some situation that needed resolution will be resolved and healed. Consider careers in the medical field, massage therapy, and other healing work. Interesting, because I was picking up on energy of healers. And but I was thinking of it more in the sense of like the words that you use. See, your words are healing. There might be a lot of people who like to come to you for advice and things like that. Let me know if that resonates. It's time to replenish your energy, and fully energize to prepare for what's next. That, again, can explain why a lot of you guys who have been resonating with this reading, there's a couple of you guys did mention in the comments that you've been feeling very tired, and I was talking about that earlier. Just like even if you get rest, you just can't seem to feel fully recovered. You just don't feel it, right? Let's get like 3 cards from here. So we want like the 3 most in-depth cards, if that's the case, because this deck has a lot of stuff in it. So we want the ones that are the most in tune with what the collective needs to know at this time, Spirit. There's the most accurate messages, please. I'm picking up on the energy of 3. Bottom of the deck. New money. I like that. I like that. Something new you've been working on will be very profitable. You should consider creating a new source of income. If you have money, a money-making idea, do it. I was saying that earlier. So some of you guys might, and that was the first thing that I picked up on, was people who might be wanting to do some type of business or something, or have some cool idea, creative spark. That was literally the first thing I said in this reading, or one of the first things when I started pulling cards anyway. Very cool. So let's get, I'm picking 3 from here. There's the most accurate. What we got? Ooh, okay. I'm going to take these as 1 card, but yep, 2 cards came out. Change. Something might happen between the months of, not the months, but like between the seasons of autumn and, this is definitely possible confirmation. Right side of the nose is itching, which is representing future energy. Getting something might happen between fall and winter. All right, there's a change for the better coming your way. Embrace it. Just because you don't see any movement, it doesn't mean nothing is happening. Sometimes to see the change, you must be the change. Wow. Yep. And it came out along with say yes to the things you think you can't do. Remember, you can do hard things. And change is hard, right? Change is very hard. But you're capable. You're more than capable. You have to have that faith and confidence within yourself to move forward, which is why we have picked up on that Queen of Wands earlier, and I was saying this is about confidence. Like, you might not feel like you have the credentials to do something or something like that, or the knowledge or the skill set, the talent. You might be, self-deprecating in some kind of way. And this is a time to do quite the opposite. This is preaching to the choir here, because I feel like this is a message for me too. But this is definitely a time for a lot of you guys to, restructure your way of thinking when it comes to how you view yourself, your worldview, and your self image, right? How do you view yourself? How do you want to appear in the outside world and things like that? How do you really see yourself, and start reshaping that? Because sometimes I think you guys don't give yourself nearly enough credit for the things you're capable of, and that makes it that much harder to be able to pursue the things that you want to pursue. Let me know if that makes any sense in the comments. Students, remember I was saying that, some of you guys might want to learn something, or some of you might be teaching something. All right, so work with a mentor to, wow, I said that earlier. Work with a mentor to learn new skills. I literally said that. That's crazy. Or teach you how to implement your plans. You could be in school to pursue higher education, or work for a school district. I said something about some of you guys being teachers or wanting to be teachers. Teach yourself to succeed with money, or get a financial advisor to teach you. Wow. Let's get one more. I feel like that was pretty self-explanatory, especially because I spoke about it like earlier in the reading. I picked up on that same energy, and now it's coming up in the cards at the end of the reading. So go figure, right? One more from here. Maybe even 2. Because I'm greedy. Excuse me. Rescuer. Wow. Okay. Let's see. Someone may enter your life and help you resolve any difficulties you're experiencing. Consider careers as a firefighter, paramedic, or any rescue or heroic profession. Ask for help. Gosh, I can't fucking see or read apparently. God damn. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. Quite the opposite. It shows your strength. I really do need to start wearing my glasses more though. They reflect on the light and it looks weird, so I don't wear them. I just like squint really hard and I'm like, oh, I can see this, and I'm like, oh, you're mixing words together. Great. Let's get one more. Thank you. Fear, exactly. Yeah, oh, fear is a motherfucker. All right, so overcome your fear of success or failure. Don't sabotage. I don't have to say self-sabotage because I feel like that would have made more sense here. But anyway, don't sabotage your own success. Don't allow your fear to make you forget your greatness. Remain positive and on track. Wow. It may require you to step out of your comfort zone to achieve the abundance you desire. Seems legit to me. Remember I was saying this is something different. This is something that you're embarking on that, you know, it's not familiar, and that makes it that much more difficult, right? We have denial on the denial on the bottom of the deck. I just heard denial is a river in Egypt. Anyway, perhaps you are insisting that insisting reality be something other than what it is. What are you refusing to see? It's better to live in truth than in a lie. If you've been pursuing a false front to make money, it's time to remove that mask. So working dead-end jobs and shit like that, knowing that you're not happy there, like, you know that you're meant to do something greater and bigger, right? You have transporter. Some of you might be physically moving. This is a good indicator that things will start moving for you rather quickly. A career in transportation such as travel, driving, or shipping could appeal to you. You could travel for work, or perhaps you need to take action in a financial matter. Traveling for somebody, or physically moving for work. Might be better career opportunities somewhere else. Interesting. Charity in the middle of the deck. See where you can give yourself more to helping others. There we go. And make it. Remember I was saying earlier in the reading, I was getting like maybe outreach work and stuff like that. It's giving me that vibe. I'm going to start the card from the beginning though. See where you can give more of yourself to helping others and make a difference. Humanitarian work, human rights, yep. Justice or advocacy. I was talking about advocacy earlier. Work could be right for you. Donating can create positive energy around you and attract more abundance. Wow. Holy shit. I don't know why I always get so surprised when this happens. It's like, bro, you already know. Alright, so I'm going to pull from... I'm getting 2 more cards. I mean, 2 more decks, rather. But I'm only going to pull 1 card from these decks, and that's going to be the end of this reading. Alright, so... I'm just going to pull. I'm not going to look at the top and bottom of all of that. I'm just pulling the card. Do it a little bit different. Instinctually, that's what I feel like I'm supposed to do. But I'm not going to do it this time. Unless I feel drawn. Spirit, just help me pull 1 card from this deck. Because I know you guys are like, okay, I think I'm all set now. One card from here. And if you guys have been enjoying this reading, if you haven't done so already, definitely hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't done so. Let me know with your reactions. All that good stuff will let me know that I have been connecting with you. And I would love to just, be aware of, if you guys are really resonating with this reading or not. All right, so the card that came out was Honor Yourself. Wow, and not to be funny. All right, my boy Michael Jackson You know, for those of you who know, y'all know, okay? I love me some Michael Jackson, okay? And today is the anniversary of his passing, which would have been 16 years ago, right? Same year that I started my job at the liquor store. So yeah, 16 years. And it says honor yourself. But like, tell me, okay, before I even read the card itself, but tell me that does not, I'm going to try to get the lighting right. Tell me that don't look like Michael Jackson, like later on in his career. And he has a crown on too, like the king of pop. Anywho, let's read the card. All right, it says honor yourself. Recognize the hard work you've put in to get where you are today. Instead of thinking of how far you still have to go, remind yourself of all the things that you've accomplished and be proud. I love that. Yes. Be present, right? Recognize, you know, where you are currently instead of focusing so much on what coulda, shoulda, woulda. Like, no. I know how hard it is to focus on, you know, what you could have been and stuff like that. Oh, the mistakes or missed opportunities. I do that shit sometimes. At the end of the day, give yourself that sense of grace and understand that you're where you are right now because that's where we're meant to go. Don't beat yourself up for the things that you feel like, you know, you screwed up and stuff like that. You're here, and that's all that matters. So what do you do with that information, and how do you go about that information and move about the situation to improve your circumstances for the future? Yeah, look at that. What's on the bottom, and it was all ones up there when I was about to say something. Find the lesson. I know I said I wasn't going to read any other cards from the deck, but I'm going to do it right now anyway. It was on the bottom, and I feel like I'm supposed to. Something has happened and it stopped you in your tracks. In reality, it was simply teaching you where you needed to grow. There's no such thing as failure. So pick yourself up, learn from it, and keep going. Exactly. Wow. Did I not just say that? My words might have not been as poetic as that, but yeah, I pretty much said that. All right, and I'm gonna pull from a card from the soul's journey. It just feels right because we're talking about the soul's purpose, right? So it just feels right to pull a card from here. And I might pull from one more deck. I might have lied. And it's called Awakening Intuition. For those of you who feel kind of spiritually inclined, I feel like that will be a good card to close out with because it talks about intuitive gifts and things like that, and how to use your gifts and so on and so forth. So I might pull a card from there too. Alright, so one card from here, Spirit. This one card. There's most accurate message for the collective. Hope you guys have been enjoying this reading. I really greatly appreciate you guys very much. Alright, we got two. Excuse me. So we got two cards about change. Let me just show y'all. We got change. And we have change. Also, two cards came out together, but let me just read them. Change. I understand that nothing can grow or evolve without movement. Remember we saw that energy of in order to see the change, you have to be the change? Yeah. Along with perseverance. I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. Remember, you can do hard things. Absolutely can do hard things. Sometimes, you know, you might beat yourself up and all of that, but understand, like, without, you know, the test, there is no testimony. And everything that you've been through is meant to help shape you so that you can be the person that you're becoming, the person that you are today. And you're going to do a lot of great things to help other people in the process. I heard humor me. We have humor on the bottom of the deck here. I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. Exactly. There's a quote, and I hope I don't say it wrong. He who laughs last laughs the loudest. I'm looking at the card. I don't think I ever noticed, but there's somebody. It looks like it might be Buddha laughing in the card itself. Like, you might not be able to see that, but it might be Buddha. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, for those of you who've ever heard that quote, that might resonate with you. All right, so I'm gonna pull from one more deck, and like I said, that's going to be the Awakening Tarot. I haven't read from here in a minute. I like these cards, but they're very wordy. And I don't really like reading a lot of words. Not because I can't read. I definitely can read. It's just, it brings me back to, see, this is a trauma response. When I was a kid, I used to, when I would get picked, like, to read in class, I would be so shy. So, like, I was, like, fumble over my words, and I still do it to this day. As if I can't read. I'm like, I can fucking read, obviously. I wouldn't have made it this far if I can't. But it's like, there's something about the anxiety associated with reading in front of people. So, like, very wordy cards. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to read from that deck. But overcoming fears, right? And anxieties. Oh, but when it comes to writing, oh, I'm a hell of a writer. I was supposed to be a writing tutor in college. But I was like, I already work a full-time job and have a kid, and I'm pretty much a full-time student. Yeah, like, that's not happening. Would have been good for my resume, but, you know, shit happens. Anywho, what we got here? All right, so we have slow down to center yourself. Intuitive guidance is heightened, more accurate, and appears more often when life moves at a saner pace. Your sixth, see, that's a word I hate saying because I have a lisp a little bit sometimes when I say it. Anyway, your sixth sense is less responsive when your energy is pulled into too many directions. I talked about that earlier. Rushing around, constantly multitasking, and swamped by responsibilities. Slow your roll for better mystical attunement and stretch time. So being able to understand the importance of not overextending. I said that earlier. I was picking up on that energy of people who just put themselves and spread themselves thin and put themselves into way too many things. Way too many things. Help trying to pacify too many people, so on and so forth. And when that energy becomes that thinned out, it's going to deplete you. And that will explain why I've been feeling tired. And because I resonate with that. And how you guys are probably feeling too. Doing too much. Gotta slow down. I'm gonna read this card too on the bottom of the deck. All right. Learn about clairaudience. We talked about learning new skills and things like that. So some of you might be clairaudient. I am. You'll hear me like reference songs or quotes and things like that that I hear. It happens all the time. I sometimes hear like the voices of people and stuff like that who are not actually here. Not like in a schizophrenic way, but like because I thought that something was wrong with me for a long time. So I realized that I had this gift. But yeah, anyway, it's different for everybody, but I'll read this card for y'all. So it says, learn about clairaudience. Hearing helpful words and full sentences is the rarest psychic pathway. A wise, gentle voice speaking in your head is different than an intuitive thought or your own inner dialogue. Exactly, very different. Don't experience clairaudience. Listen to what others say, even lines from movies or overheard in the grocery aisle. That may be divine guidance. So when you learn how to tune things out, that's when you kind of can know like what parts of it are your own gift versus intrusive thoughts and stuff like that. So same thing with like clairvoyance too. Like that's about seeing. So like there will be times like where if you're clairvoyant, right? Like you're gonna narrow your sight on something that you can't really understand why you're narrowing your sight on that thing. It almost like for some people it'll glow or something like that. And you're like, oh, there's something important about that. Let me pay attention. For some people, it's in their mind's eye, like they see it. It's not out there, but they can see it. It's different for everybody. But once you start to understand your gifts, if you have spiritual gifts, we all do, but it's about honing in on them and understanding them more. So for some of you, that might be one of the things that you have. So if you hear, lyrics of songs, if you hear things on like a loop almost, or voices like not in a schizophrenic way, like telling you to hurt yourself or something like that, hurt other people, but like phrases and things like that randomly come out of nowhere, you're like, where the fuck did that come from? There could be a message there. Pay attention to it. So pay attention to your intuitive gifts, because I'm getting energy of people who might have those psychic abilities, who they've been kind of stifled when it comes to being able to understand them and utilize them, is what I'm getting. Just saying. So with all that said, I love y'all. Thank you for being here. Those of you who stuck around to the end, really, really appreciate you. I mean, I appreciate every single person who even tapped in for a few minutes. You guys are absolutely amazing and awesome. If you're new, like I said, if you haven't done so already, definitely subscribe and be on here a little bit more. And I'm be doing different types of readings. You know, I haven't done a reading like this one in a long time. But you know, sometimes I do stuff a little more serious. Sometimes I do stuff a little bit more lighthearted. This depends on the day, what I'm being called to do. So yeah, hopefully you liked this reading and got something out of it. And yeah, I'm not sure when I'm going to be back on, but maybe tomorrow or Saturday, we shall see. But you guys enjoy the rest of your evening, the rest of the week, all that good stuff. And yeah, keep on doing the amazing work that you've been doing and following where you're being guided, because there's some amazing stuff that's about to happen that you're guided to do. You're definitely going to be making a big difference in the lives of others in the process. Don't sell yourself short when it comes to that, because your calling is way more powerful than you might have ever imagined, from what I can see with the stuff that's here. You're gonna be doing some great things out there, helping other people. So yeah, do the damn thing. All right, guys, I love y'all. Have a great evening, and until next time.